Well, we just took the Mossberg out for a walk today. It's pretty much all we did. We did end up seeing a couple deer, but I wanted to talk real quick about something as we get into the late season. As you can see, we got snow. It's super cold today. It's like a high of, when we got out here, it was like 1 degree. So these deer are really transitioning. Don't get me wrong, bucks are still gonna try to find the last does and heat, but they're at the point now, if you have this weather, that they really need to feed to make it through winter. They're stressed out, run down from the rut, and feeding's a big part of being able to make it through winter, especially when we have these temperatures. So I wanted to talk about focusing on your mass crop, your oaks. In this area predominantly, we just walked through an oak flat and there is a pile of feeding sign, a pile of deer sign up on top. But with gun seasons being in, these deer are pressured. They're pushed into these little pockets where they don't have to move as much, but they're close to feed. We have a perfect example from our hunt in Pennsylvania. We were running into a lot of human sign and we decided to really push back into where we figured a buck could hole up and not be bothered. In turn, after walking through similar situation, lots of oaks up on top, lots of older feeding sign, we finally dropped down into a big hemlock ravine and immediately we're on fresh deer sign and ended up killing a big buck within a couple minutes of getting down in there. So in your mind, when you're going to attack a piece or you want to be still hunting, be thinking about that, not only the food, but also the cover and what the human pressure is. These bucks will push back and get away from humans as much as possible, especially when guys are running around doing drives or just bumping deer throughout the day. Another thing to think about when you have these storms that are rolling in, another perfect example is, like I said, we were seeing a lot of feeding sign, but we had gotten snow overnight. So there was nothing fresh. When you get those snowstorms, a lot of times those deer are gonna hunker up and they're gonna use that thermal cover, whether it's hemlocks, pine, spruce, stuff like that, to kind of hunker down, and they'll stay tight for a while. So you may have to cover a lot of ground before you get into them. Usually when you get into them, you're gonna find a lot of them. There's gonna be a lot of deer. It seems like you have those revolving doors of the storm comes, the deer hunker down for a little while, and then they really feed heavily after the storm passes or that evening or the next morning. So just a couple tips as you guys are dealing with pressure, late gun season, frigid temperatures, to get out, think a little bit outside the box. Don't be afraid to put miles on your boots and get into spots that you may not be used to seeing deer during the bow season or earlier season, because they will seek refuge and they will hunker up when the pressure comes on. But always be thinking about where they're feeding as you get these frigid temperatures, because that's super important this time of the year. Good luck out there, guys. Stay safe and be sure to come back for more tips in the future.